And we're back with another series of Let's Play. I'm your host, the RPG Guy. And yes, I am revisiting The Lord of the Rings, The Third Age, due to popular demand and all of that. And at the end of the day, too, it was one of those projects I was working on with an old friend, Douchewaffle, and he ended up having to move away and stuff, and I kind of threw this on the back burner, and we hadn't really touched it since. And so I removed that Let's Play because it wasn't going to get finished without him, and people have been asking if I was ever going to do it, and I finish it, and I'm like, yeah, at some point I'll go back and revisit it, and I think enough time has gone by that it feels like, oh yeah, I'm revisiting this game after several years, because that was a couple years ago. That was more than a couple years ago. That was like back in 2016 or so. Or even 15 when that happened. So anyway, it might even been earlier than that, or later than that. So The Lord of the Rings: The Third Age is a Final Fantasy X style JRPG made by EA using the assets and story and world of the films The Lord of the Rings. They borrow a lot from mostly the movies, some book stuff, but nothing too weird. And it kind of is a story that goes as a companion piece to the original films, though there's stuff that clearly never happened in this game or in the films that happens in this game, as you'll see as we progress through it. But it's a bit of an interesting game. It's got its pros and its cons. The con is it starts to get a little too gauntlet, and a lot of it is it's a one-trick pony. Most of the battles in this are actually scripted. Not that you have to beat them in a certain way, but scripted that you're forced to fight the fight regardless of whether you want to or not. And that's kind of how the game progresses itself. Beyond that, it's not a big deal. Now, for the time, it was a pretty decent looking game, and one of the cool ideas that it had was that... I'm sorry, I'm adjusting my mic here. One of the cool ideas that it had at the time was characters who have changing armor. Very few JRPGs or RPGs of any kind back in this period had armor that you saw visual difference to, especially in a AAA title. Usually the characters just always look the same. Maybe you'd see a different weapon, but you see every piece of armor they put on is unique to itself. And so there's a lot of cool things in this, and if you're Lord of the Rings fans, then you're going to really like this game too. So anyway, let's play The Lord of the Rings: The Third Age. I'm your host, the RPG Guy. There is some epic scenes in this game that are literally cutouts from the movies. And just as a heads up, I'm not going to be revisiting a lot of that, and I'm going to talk over these scenes as much as I know you don't want me to, because, copyright infringement and strikes and stuff. I mean, theoretically, I should be fine. I just don't trust YouTube's algorithm. So a lot of this stuff, a lot of that stuff, I'm gonna skip.
Welcome, warrior of Gondor. Your road here will not be an easy one. Much will be risked in the war that is to come. But you will justify my trust. This I sense with all my heart.
No bad horsey. You want your pizza. Your free pizza from Domino's.
Stand aside, creature. You are in my way.
So the game, right out of the door, starts with a fight. With us dealing as we are playing Barithor, fighting against the Ringwraith Shadow Captains. Well, that's not a good start at all. Well, alright, so we apparently died, so I want to thank you guys for stopping by. It's a short game, but sweet. Just kidding. There's so many games that do the fake out deaths, it's kind of funny.
Return to the shadow, slave of Sauron.
I have a theory this would have made a better better show or series than what probably Amazon's putting together. I've heard bad things about that from some people I know who are working on it. The Octomom's water broke.
What grace has been given to me, let it pass to him. Let him be spared. To you I bestow this gift of my people.
Oh man,
it braces the soul
the good
and binds
drugs.
the hearts of others.
The drugs of Viridian.
I live because of your bravery, my lady. What favor might I grant you?
There is no time. Hurry, we must find you equipment and heal your wounds.
Alright. Adventure mode. Here you will travel across Middle-earth, find hidden items, and battle groups of foes. Gandalf the Grey speaks to you of events in Middle-earth. View these scenes in the epic scenes section of the menu. That we are not going to do. And like I said, anytime we see that kind of stuff, we're not going to do it. Just because, like I said before, we don't want to have to deal with the not being allowed to upload this and getting flagged. Because they were lazy, and instead of making original scenes, they just ripped them from the movie. So these are chests. Sometimes they have items. Sometimes they have enemies with the items. So as I said before, we have some new equipment here. The 3rd Age Gondorian Scouting Shield. And you can see that he actually carries it around with him. The other thing we want to look at too is skills. We have this thing with skill trees and things like leadership and all of that. And then the passive skills he learns, strangely enough, passively. And then that I'm not even worried about. The last one doesn't matter so much. And skills we get skill ups in by various means. I believe it's based on how often you use the skills. And that's something we'll look into. And us leveling up is a part of it as well. But I believe it's more the level ups than anything else, to be fair. So we get our first real battle here against this orc. So we have things like Guardian Strike. No reason not to use them. My memory of this game is use skills frequently and with gusto. So like Loudwater Fury, powerful magic attack. Feel the wrath of my Gatorade blast! Clueberry. And when we level up, strangely enough, we get all of our stats. We recover all HP and AP when we level up. Use special attacks in combat, cost action points. Certain items or skills can restore certain action points. Fair enough. So now we've got this kind of big open area here. In the attempt to make sure that we find everything, we need to kind of explore it. First Age Galadrim Spirit Warding Pendant. It's a King's Foil. I believe King's Foil is the healing item of this game. So this pendant, in there you can see what stats it benefits. It'll tell you what the end stat is, and a green means that it's higher than the others. And you can see that it's right there on her neck. It's a neat feature. You know, for the lazy things that are in this game, to me that's a good thing. That's not considered that the armor benefits is definitely not one of them. Let's keep moving here. Now we got 2 guys here. Again, same deal. We don't have enough to do Mystic Flute Strike on the Archer. raises the attack of all characters. Ow, he hit me. And we don't have nearly enough to do anything, so let's go ahead and just attack. No, taunt. I want a swordcraft. Now, I believe we'll level from that. Arrgh! There's a level, there's a level. And so, before we get too far, so you can see we have, yeah, so the more you use your skills, the more that these level up. Okay, so that's a really big deal. In order to win this game, you actually are required to learn skills. It's one of those weird kind of things. Yeah, I don't even know how to get that one for the passive skills off the top of my head. And that's gonna be tricky that's gonna be somewhat tricky. Let's go to stats. Now we have points to spend here. You can see what our character is weak against, his weaknesses, his strengths, and then you see his stats. A big one in this game is going to be survivability. The fact that our constitution's pretty low, we want to invest in that a bit. For sure. With Barathor here, with Idriel, a lot of it's going to be spirit related. Her strength is not as important, but for these earliest levels, we want to make sure that they get a little bit more of their maxed HP going on here, just because every little bit of that helps in order to bust out some magic and whatnot. Ooh, a little close there. Lambus. It is an ogre that's been turned to stone. Long bottom leaf. We'll head up and around here.
I heard a voice. On the road.
Yes, I know.
Who could it...
Patience.
I'm looking for Boromir of Gondor. Have you seen him?
No. But I do see orcs ahead.
So, as you already can see, this is the one-trick pony element I was telling you about. The one trick being that it's mostly battles in the game to a degree. Down. Freaking Barathor is on the rampage. You'll also notice the cooldown. Because of Loudwater Fury and what it makes Idriel's turn come up later. So there's a whole set of stats behind that I'm not going to worry about right away, but it is something to keep in mind. So we leveled up yet again. A lot of leveling in this game, to the point where you almost can wait to power up at least a little bit. So where are we at here? 2 and 1 more swordcraft, and we'll learn Orc Bane, which is probably pretty good. And then we start getting our choices between what we want to learn. And we'll worry about that later. I'm not going to worry about that as of yet. Yeah, Haste of the Elves is a really good spell, so we do want to learn that as quickly as possible. So that's one of the reasons why using Loudwater Fury is a big deal. We don't take enough damage to warrant using Elrond's Gift, which is a healing spell. So you got to take that in strides here. Slime of Orthanc. And these are save points, which will also recover our HP and AP, or MP, whatever you want to call it. And we'll come on inside.
Inside, Gondorian. Your wounds must be healed.
Weapons. Provisions. The elves are very resourceful.
Long have we kept such way stations for times of great need.
I am Berethor, captain of the Citadel Guard of Gondor.
And I am Idriel. I serve Galadriel, Lady of Light. Take what you need, and let us be on our way.
We get XP for Berethor. Now, whoever is the leader of the party actually is the one that gets that XP. We're going to give it to Berethor right now anyway, just because I said so. And we can change characters around as we need to. Guard items can be used while exploring to heal and regain action points per triangle and access them in the menu. That's fine. Leaf of Old Turban. Battle items, so King's Foil leaves of Lambus. Gondorian Steel Citadel Guard Pauldrons. More Lambus. So you can see the better armor upgrade. Look at that. Oh my, your armor is so shiny and brilliant.
Craven spies! My caravan is in danger!
Those crows seem guided by some fell purpose.
It is the hand of Isengard. The White Wizard has betrayed us.
Are they taking the hobbits to Isengard? Taking the hobbits to Isengard. They're taking the hobbits to Isengard. Okay. We're not done yet, because there's still this over here, and I believe we can explore the other open area. So the game kind of does stuff like this, where it kind of reasserts you to continue where you were going, but you can easily bypass treasure and miss stuff if you don't travel backwards just a wee bit from where the scene took you. Second Age Elven Silver Tiara of Eriador. Okay. Nice. Armor bonus. Resistant to fire and water, so that's pretty good. And there it is on her tiny little head. For you!
Orcs are amongst them!
There are too many! They have no chance!
Help me defend them!
And we're going to run into our first technically difficult enemy here, is the one with the flag. The flag-wielding orc is pretty much a magic user, and for some reason I think his Murder of Crows causes a character to miss a turn, or knocks him back, because it always seems like the turn comes up later. Anywho, he's one of those dudes you just go out, you just gun for. And you can see he's pretty resistant too, so you gotta deal with that element as well. Let's not screw around with yeah, see, that only did half the damage to him. There's Orc's Bane. Well, Orc Bane is our new attack that has been loined. Let's use it on the orc, shall we? Crit it, though nice. I think he dodged. Did he dodge it? See, this is what I was talking about. The Loudwater Fury causing a major hesitation. It's almost dead, but so is she. Let's Gift of Elrond her. There we go. And we'll use Barathor to finish off the caster type. I'm sure that just builds up their attack. There we go. May as well use this because it'll build up her magic offense. I'll give her more magic points to burn. Yeah. Alright, he's down. Let's get his buddy. Aw, man. Lame. There's a level up. She's just short. Third Age Steel, Ithelian Longsword, Third Age Elven Golden Plate Fouled.
They will trouble you no longer.
You have found him.
What do you mean by that?
It is nothing. Hasten to Rivendell. I have cleared the road for you.
I am grateful, but you must return now to the passes. We saw evidence of recent battle there.
Come, Gondorian. Some may still survive.
Okay, and this is where they tell us about that. Go with Idriel in the lead now because Barathor is already ahead of her. That's a nice defense plus 2 dex, so you can't argue about that. The star rating is pretty much how good the piece of gear is. Ooh, it's fancy. And Ithelian Longsword, it is better than what we've got. Well, only in the dex department, I guess. Base damage times 6. That's times 10. So this is significantly better. Even you got to read the fine print, you know. All right, so we've got 4 points to spend here. We're gonna put probably 2 in strength and 2 in spirit. That raises his AP because you need AP in order to actually learn skills, to use your skills, rather. Let's put 1. Oh, she didn't level all the way yet. We'll wait on her. And then skills. She's almost there with... Okay, no, she's not almost there. She's still got some distance to go. That just sucks. Okay. Shattering Strike is fine. I'm not too big on counterattack. We'll probably skip over that. Yeah, we just need to use more of Idriel's skills. But once she learns Haste of the Elves, we'll be in a good position to kind of learn pretty much anything we want. I believe this is the way back. Right? Yeah, there's the big old building. The big old wall building thing. Right? Yeah. Okay. You can easily get turned around in this place. Just from the cutscenes and then you not being where you last were standing. You're instead standing where the game puts you, in a sense, put you. it. We've got some wild men. You know what? Just because we need to work on her, let's do this. Nice dodge. Not nice dodge. Ow. Nice dodge again. He's down. You might be wondering why am I doing this weirdly, and there's a reason why I'm doing this weirdly. We need to learn the next leadership skill as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, even this is not stackable, but it does help you learn it faster. Increases odds of group hits and enemy misses. And there we go, that'll get her a little more caught up with her skills there. We used 2 lambdas to achieve that, but it's worth it. One of 3 warbands defeated. So that was a forced fight, for lack of a better term. Really quick. So for here... let's do that. This AP is 1, we gotta do something about that. That should be enough for at least a battle. Moderate battle. Now, in some areas, the Irestorm will appear and your chance of fighting a battle grows. So, this is the closest you get to random encounters in this game. So, yeah. I don't believe you get much for these fights either as far as XP goes. So you don't really... if I'm not mistaken, it's just one of those things that doesn't really seem to help you very much. But we'll treat it as if that were not the case, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. Yeah, see how easy he went down? Okay, it wasn't. Yeah, but see, it's still not. It's not a lot. It's a little bit, but eh. You don't want to waste your good power on that. Your powers. Of medicine. delicious save point, which was good. We could use one right about now. Remember, too, whenever you're getting overwhelmed by anything, you can always hit up these save points and revisit them as many times as you want. Ooh, treasure. Yeah, it's never that easy.
A man, badly wounded.
Wait for the wargs to approach.
They'll kill him. Hold on!
Hello, lovelies.
You live?
No thanks to you. Can't you see I was hunting them? You want to use the crows? Lure the wargs in close. They kill faster that way.
You were of the Dunedain.
At your service, lady. You meant to help me, so perhaps you may.
Perhaps we should finish off the rest of the pack first.
So we're introduced to a new character who is of the Dunedain, whatever. And he is a ranger, and like many types of characters of such, he has powers befitting of him. Another AP heavy character. In other words, you rely a lot on having lots of his skills require lots of AP to use until he gets to one that's not as crazy. The save point's right behind us. May as well exploit as much of this as possible. Which, now that I'm saying that out loud... Skip. And here we go. Yeah, that's a little goofy. Okay. And there she goes. She's now getting her XP out of it. Party members, you may press triangle to view details about your party members. No scene, thank you. Really quick, let's take a look. Now, see, the only thing that kind of sucks is there's no real telling of... I mean, it says what level they are, but it doesn't mean a lot. We'll do a bunch there. Okay, so speed and dex will be one of those things, too, we need to work on. And then... Not sure how we ended up with this, but we did. We need to keep speed and dex high, too. And the reason being is that is our physical defense, in a sense, as much as it is also our just basic defenses. And then the dexterity is our ability to hit an enemy, so... That's a big deal, too. If we keep missing enemies a lot, we're going to get our butts kicked, and that would be bad. Okay, we're already low on AP here, so... hopefully they're pretty much pushovers. I guess the only level up, the only benefit of fighting these random encounters is to build up your skills, as long as you're near a save point. Anything else is kind of silly. That doesn't make sense. Now I'm confused here. What's going on with this? So now Barithor is behind in XP, so... so we'll save, and that everybody's HP and MP is AP is restored. Alright. Like I said, we might come back here again, too, give or take. We have multiple directions that we can go. Alright. Let's do it. I should look at skills. I haven't looked at skills yet for Elaghost here. Or Elaghost. There we go, there's Haste of the Elves, finally. Spell that's actually really good. It's pretty much what you think it is if you're a JRPG fan. It's a spell that casts haste on a single character. And there's a little Fidriel. Elaghost. Really quick. 4 of 10, 6 of 10. Stand Fast is a big one. It's probably one of the best ones in the game. Because it prevents you from... gives you immunity to stunning attacks. For the duration of the fight. So, okay. So he's working on that. Drain Inspiration or Gift of Galadriel. This is actually pretty good over the Galadriel gift thingy because that counts towards our credit and she gets AP. So, that's probably fine. We'll just stick to this since we're already working on it. I probably should have gone with Wounding Strike. Next one will be Elven Rage, though. Or Stunning Strike is also good. Alright, let's look at our new character here, Elaghost. Creature Baned Arrow Flurry. We've already started working on it. I don't see a reason to change. The Blind Shot's pretty good. You know what? We'll switch it now, actually. Blinding Shot. So the one that costs a shit ton will eventually give us Piercing Might. Piercing Might is very good. I believe it's also very cheap to use compared to the main skill. So enemies that hit really hard, if you hit them with Piercing Might, they tend to not hit as badly. So there's benefits to setting a lot of that up. Doing damage to enemies will fill your party's momentum meter over time. When the momentum meter is full, your party enters perfect mode and can unleash a more powerful attack. Question is, do I care? Not really. Okay, Ranger Craft aim shot. And he's down. So again, I stand by what I said earlier. Learning stand fast is going to be a big deal. So I'm one of those people who's like, the sooner we learn it, the better. It's easily one of the first stats in any boss fight. One of the first buffs you put up in any boss fight. Literally. One more of those and he'll learn the next skill. Idriel gets a third age some longsword. Hold on. Third age Heaven Steel longsword. Which is a little better than what she has.
What brings you to this place, Ranger?
I will tell you, but first we must make our way to one of the elves' healing altars.
Okay. Yeah, let's go this way first. It looks like the little red dot is up that way, and we had it seen, so chances are we should probably go this way. A glowing palantir will appear as you approach enemies. Make sure you are prepared for the upcoming battle. So that kind of tells you when, of course, a battle is going to happen. Because we are short. Fine by me. Leaf forward to me. There we go. Learned piercing might. Nice. Pretty straightforward. There he goes. At least he leveled. So Elaghost, I think, is still ahead of everybody, so we don't need to make him the front of the party yet. And there's some bonus that'll level up him. So now Idriel should be the one behind. So he should be on Pierce Will. 2 more till we learn Stand Fast. quite a bit till we learn Drain Inspiration. But so it gives me a reason to start using more of her magic again. 4 points. Where do we want to put them? And then... let's keep moving. And we pretty much come full circle here, which gives us a reason to go and hit up that save point again. This is going to be one of the places in the game where theoretically we could sit and grind a little bit. Grind skills, to be specific. Not going to get a lot of XP. I can tell you that up front. You see up in the upper left, we can just stand here till that thing turns blood red. It'll force a battle. We can use this. There's not a lot of grinding in this game that needs to be done, if you could argue any. But you could say that, well, there is a little bit that needs to be done, and the little bit that needs to be done has to do with making sure that you can learn skills. Every once in a while, when you have access to a save point that's near an area where you can do this kind of stuff, it's probably in your best interest to literally spend time here, you know, learning skills. And get yourself at least 1 to 2 skills ahead, until you get to a point where you're just not learning anything very quickly. The benefits outweigh the time investment that you have to make in this, which isn't very much. Theoretically, with Haste of the Elves and with leadership skills, we can work on that without killing enemies. So this makes this very straightforward and easy to accomplish. Hence we got that. Now, Elaghost will be killing off enemies, which will prevent us from learning anything faster than what we're learning. But that's okay. Once he gets once he gets that might, well, once he learns the next skill from here, it won't be as big of a deal. But as you can see, it's very effective. If we just look at it really quick. Like, yeah, we could sit here and learn Drain Inspiration. We could sit here and learn Fellowship Grace, which is really good. Fellowship Grace is good when you're in a long fight. You hit up Stand Fast, then follow it up with Fellowship Grace, just to recover AP every round, so that way characters can keep throwing out attacks. I mean, there's a lot of skills here. You cannot sit here and learn all of these. I mean, if you're that stubborn, you could, which I have been known to be that way sometimes, but it's not worth it. Not in this game. But it would be worth it for us to maybe pick up. Let me see here. Probably good to pick up Blinding Shot, and then convert back to Arrow Flurry. Or actually even Blinding Shot and then learn Crippling Shot. And then Pinning Shot is also really good too. You see how these are all really good. Draining Shot is not as good right early on. Shield Piercing, these skills are really good. Arrow Flurry, not so much. But like I said, what we could do is take the time to learn Blinding Shot and then pick up Arrow Flurry while we're here. I want to make sure she's on to her next skill here. I want her to pick up Wounding Strike next. And and he can actually pick up his next skill. We're going to skip counterattack and go right to Citadel Rage. You might say, why skip counterattack? Well, counterattack is a nice ability, but when you're trying to learn abilities, it's not as nice as it sounds. And that's because you lack the ability to control the battlefield when you're doing that kind of stuff. I know it doesn't make a lot of sense the way I'm wording it right now, but it does make sense. Because your counterattack, when your counterattack kicks in, you have the potential to kill weak enemies that you're trying to learn skills from. And that inherently can be bad. If you're trying to do like a low level run of the game, which is something that people do, then counterattack is very useful because you're dishing out extra damage. But all in all, at the end of the day, I tend to not think of it as that necessary or that relevant. Again, it's up to you how you want to play. You could play this game any way you want, just like any game I've ever talked about. There's so many different ways you can approach a game. For me, it's like learning some of the weirder skills early on. Getting these low-tier skills kind of learned early is good because then we can start investing in the really good skills further down the road. And remember, the cheapest skills count towards what you're doing. So eventually, we don't need to worry about. It doesn't matter what skill you use. You just have to make sure you're using skills that will teach you the skill. You can use any leadership skill and you will get an SP in leadership. You can use any skill in bowcraft, for example, and you will learn you eventually learn a new skill. The thing is with Elagos, as you can see, is he doesn't have any skills that he can do in a stalemate kind of setting. In other words, he always has to be attacking something, which can drag this out a bit, because we have to fight multiple enemies and stuff like that. So now you can kind of see how I'm approaching grinding in this game, as far as I'm concerned, and as far as you're probably concerned as well. This is pretty much how grinding's gonna go. There's nothing you're not grinding for XP as much as you're grinding for SP for skills. And if you happen to get a level out of it, cool. It can happen. But yeah, what we're doing here is incredibly hyper-specific. And this will take roughly 20 minutes, maybe 30. It won't take very long, and you'll feel all the better for the amount of grinding you did, because like I said, it's less nonsense you gotta do later. So anyway, I want to thank you guys for stopping by. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/ActarStudios for more live gaming action. Check out my live stream that is happening here on YouTube and all that other good stuff. And when we come back, we are going to be... I'm going to have at least 1 to 2 skills per character learned. It might take me longer because I did say just now 2 skills versus the 1 that's probably enough. But yeah, we're going to get those skills learned, and then when we come back, we'll be good to go and continue forward in the story. So thanks for stopping by, guys, and we'll see you guys next time.